Is billionaire philanthropy becoming the new shadow government of the United States and the world? When an individual has the power to single-handedly direct hundreds of millions of dollars into specific health initiatives, we have to ask ourselves who is really setting the agenda for our public policy. Before we continue, if you want to stay on top of everything happening in US politics, hit that subscribe button right now and leave a like. It really helps this channel grow and ensures you don't miss our deep dives into the stories that matter most. Melinda French Gates has just dropped a massive announcement that is sending ripples through both the medical community and the political sphere. She has pledged an additional $215 million to improve women's health on a global scale. This is not just a donation, it is a strategic expansion of her influence. This funding is earmarked for critical areas, increasing contraceptive access, improving maternal care, and, perhaps most controversially, dedicating significant resources to the study of menopause. With this new announcement, her total contributions to women's health have officially surged past the $600 million mark over the last few years. But let's look at the development here. This isn't just about writing checks. This is about prioritizing specific health outcomes that have historically taken a back seat in the global political discourse. By putting this much capital into contraceptive access and maternal health, she is essentially forcing these topics to the forefront of the global legislative agenda. Now, let's analyze what this actually means. When a private citizen, even one as influential as Melinda French Gates, makes these types of moves, it changes the conversation in Washington and beyond. The government often relies on these types of private-public partnerships to fill the gaps where public funding falls short. However, this creates a situation where the priorities of a single wealthy individual can dictate the direction of health research and accessibility for millions of people. Critics often point out that this allows for a top-down approach to healthcare. Supporters, on the other hand, argue that the bureaucracy of government is far too slow to address the urgent needs of women globally. By targeting middle-aged women and specifically investing in menopause research, French Gates is entering a field that many have ignored for decades. It is a massive oversight in the medical industry that is finally receiving the financial attention it desperately needs, but the question remains, should the direction of health research be in the hands of the private sector? Furthermore, consider the timing. As the debate over reproductive rights and women's health continues to polarize the United States, any significant movement of money into these areas is bound to be viewed through a political lens. Whether you agree with her goals or not, it is impossible to deny that this is a major play for influence. She is effectively funding the infrastructure that future policies will be built upon. We need to consider the outcomes. If this money successfully shifts the needle on maternal care or menopause research, it will likely lead to calls for federal governments to take over these initiatives. But if the results are contested or if the focus remains too narrow, we could see an even greater divide between those who believe in private philanthropy and those who advocate for fully public, tax-funded solutions. This brings us to the core of the issue. Is this a necessary lifeline for women worldwide, or is this an overreach of private influence into public health systems? Should we be comfortable with a system where billion-dollar foundations decide which health initiatives deserve the spotlight? So, what do you think about this? Is Melinda French Gates using her fortune to fix a broken system, or is this a form of elitist agenda setting that undermines democratic processes? Drop your opinion in the comments below. I read every single one, and I want to hear your take on this massive financial move. The landscape of health policy is changing, and the money trail always tells the real story. We will continue to track these developments as they unfold because in the world of politics, money doesn't just talk, it dictates the future. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.